Yeah, record.
Do we need to record?
Yeah, gotta record.
Might as well. I
If
mean,
if you're live on
First-
Facebook, it's going to record anyway.
Yeah, it's going to record on Facebook. I just
yeah, for the people in the group who are not group, but in.
Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Got it.
Shoot. Okay. So this is the learning process, you guys. Just give us a hot second. There will be a delay, but how do I do this? Okay, give me a hot second.
You're live.
You're live. I got
We're
notification.
live.
Mm-hmm.
We're live. Is it live? Or is it Memorex? I'm wondering if it'll let me see. No, it doesn't. I'm trying to see comments. The only place I'm going to be able to see comments is on Facebook. So that is the only place that anybody asks.
If you're live on
Look
I just heard myself.
I know.
Also, I forgot to say, Lisa, you forgot to edit out the first part of the whole video of the table.
Mm-hmm.
When I came in and I was sitting down and I was trying to get comfortable and my foot kind of like
Hold on.
the first part of the when I came in and I was.
Are we? Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
I can
okay.
hear you.
I got rid of the reverb. I got rid of the
Yeah.
reverb. Hi everybody.
Hi, Lisa.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm you guys chit chat. I am doing technical stuff.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. It takes me a minute to get stuff going.
Heather, are you watching the weather in the Keys?
Yes, there's a tropical storm coming through there.
Yes, there is.
I meant to message you earlier. Make sure you were watching it.
Okay. What is that?
We're getting a little bit of that.
I'm fixing it.
Julianne, is that your room?
No, no, it's not. It's a guest room.
Gotcha.
We're live, Ellie Coyle. We're live. And let me take this off here. Remove spotlight. We are live. We have so many people that have joined us that are, and I need to make sure I'm continuing to watch to make sure to let people in. But we're chatting today about our excursion, our fun time that we had in, where did we go?
Savannah.
Savannah, Georgia. So we had a really, really great time, and everybody is going to get the chance to talk about what their best time was, what they had the most fun with, most memorable moment. Because I think we all have something that just kind of knocked our socks off, and we just had so much fun. And it's always great when we get together anyways. But I think this was particularly fun. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. If you're watching and you're not on the My Mystical Life Facebook page, I can't see your comments. The only place I can see comments is the My Mystical Life Facebook page. So if you have questions about what they're talking about as we're chatting, I need you to go over there to do that, because that's the only place I can get messages unless somebody is watching something else like a group or something. So, hi everybody. Let me do this real quick.
Good evening.
There we go. Lisa Fry, My Mystical Life, and I'm going to show. I want to do this kind of in a fun format where we kind of do a round robin thing. I would like to share my favorite event. So we were in Savannah a couple weeks ago, right? Last week.
I think
Life
so.
goes so quickly. I've never heard you guys so quiet. So I'm just okay. But we had a really great time. it was a whirlwind of a weekend. We stayed at an incredible place. So everybody stayed at really, really incredible places, actually, because not everybody stayed in the same spot. But we went on paranormal investigation, which was out of this world amazing. The food always in Savannah is fantastic. The company, spectacular. I think I have to say that my favorite moment in Savannah was dinner the first night, and everybody's enabled by Sam Fry crystal comments were off the chart, totally hysterical to me. That I enjoyed more than I mean, just probably more than I absolutely should have.
I think it was a surprise to Sam.
Oh my gosh, yes, he was like, what the hell's going on? But that, I think that was probably, I also have a couple other fun moments for myself, and that's purely just because I felt like, but I think that was probably my favorite from the okay. Ellie Coyle says, my favorite was Aaron's face when the table moved. I've heard this from quite a few people, that the video of Aaron's face and Laura Berwick's face when the table moved were priceless. So I'm gonna pass the torch, and anybody else who wants to talk, you're welcome to it. I'm here. Oh, by the way, I also want to add, Heather Johns, love the background. Your area is amazing.
It is.
Who the fuck are you?
Hey.
There are a lot.
F-bomb, man. F-bomb.
There are a lot of our mystical crystal pieces behind me.
It was so pretty. I just saw it. I was like, oh. Okay, who would like to share? What was your favorite? Who wants to share? Or just chat?
I can do it.
Awesome.
I was like, I'll step in. My favorite, well, overall, never been to Savannah before. So it was really cool to experience a new place with like new people I've never met before, except for Julianne. But that was our first trip together as well. And I honestly don't think I would ever have gone on a ghost investigation without being pushed by you guys, which was awesome. And just the experience when I got touched on my foot, and then after watching the TV show, totally makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it just made me happy just thinking about it now to this day. I just can't wait for next year.
That's awesome. So you guys, Natasha,
for
for
having
anybody
me.
who's watching, she came with Julianne, and she was like her +1, right? Just kind of, hey, come, I'm going to Savannah, you want to travel with me kind of person. And we have had so much fun with Natasha. Everybody's like, where's Natasha? And then she wasn't on Facebook, and now she is. So we're excited.
Just for you guys.
Really? That's so
Yeah.
exciting. It's so exciting. But yeah, I think that there were a couple people that brought extra people, and everybody melded in so well that you really can't even tell who was not somebody that just signed up to come voluntarily,
Right.
Because
I know when we went back to the room and Juanita told me the strangest thing happened when I was at that table. My lip was like tingling. It was quivering. It was vibrating. But when we went back to the room that Friday night, the first night we were on the table. Juanita's the one, my +1, and she goes, it was so weird when I was sitting there. It was like my lip was quivering, like it was vibrating, and I was like, because
yeah.
But she was she came home. She was she chatted the whole way home about everything. It was neat.
I have to say that Juanita, there was a picture because I didn't get her in a lot of pictures. I got her in like 5 pictures. And there was one picture, and she was kind of turned away, and there was a fuzzy background, and she was walking by the trees. And it was just such a great picture of her, just because she wasn't looking at the camera, she wasn't doing anything else, but you could feel her energy coming right off of it. Mm-hmm. It was just really cool. And I thought, I got to put that one in there. And I have a video, you guys. If you go to My Mystical Life, you'll see the video play there. Because we're on Zoom, I don't really have a way to not that I'm aware of. to just play the video here. So, but yeah,
You can
Juanita was
screen
on.
share. You can screen share.
Dude, I am in Zoom streaming to Facebook. I have 2 pages open. I am so confused right now. Do not.
If you
Okay,
Add
want,
one
Erin,
more thing. Just add one more thing in there.
Erin, she's not fully Mary Poppins, but she is
I will mess
perfect
this
in
up.
every-
It's successfully doing its thing right now. So
Are we streaming this to the Facebook page?
this is Facebook, YouTube. It's going to everywhere. This is going to everywhere.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna
Well,
tell
Say hi,
Juanita. Maybe
Facebook.
she can get
Everybody
on.
give a nice prom wave. Everybody give a prom wave there.
well,
Uh,
if you want, you can allow screen share and I can play it
I don't know how to
if
do
you
that.
want.
If I touch a button, I don't know how to. Hold on.
Okay. Erin, if she touches buttons, we might lose sound.
Yeah.
Multiple participants can share simultaneously. There, I touched the button. So Natasha Ellie Coyle would like to say that she loves your energy, which, by the way, that's a huge kudos. Ellie Coyle is a very, very gifted psychic medium from Scotland, and she's
Ireland.
across.
Isn't it Ireland?
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, she's in Ireland.
Yeah, she's in Ireland.
Her husband's, I don't know how it goes.
Scottish.
She's in Ireland. I know that because, we mail her stuff. But
Thank you.
she is the sweetest person. She really, really is. She'll be on, her and I
You're
are
on the
talking
live
about
or-
doing a mediumship session this month. So,
Who are you messaging?
okay. Anybody else? What are we chatting about?
I can go if I'll throw myself out there.
Throw yourself out there, Isis. Do it, man. Just do it.
Okay, so obviously I'm gonna put it out there that my favorite part is not only just getting together with new people and then also the people that we got together with last year, but my favorite was the Savannah Theater.
Okay.
Like that's my element, is like getting in there with some equipment and doing like the ghost investigation and meeting Angela and she called it her possessed camera.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she just popped in too. So
did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was obviously the best. Like I loved seeing like supernatural things happening like right before your very eyes. Yeah, and so like when we were behind the I think it was behind the stage, and I think Tom had noticed it first, but there was this room like somewhere by the stage that lit up, and it had like a curtain that was moving on its own, and we were asking everybody, and apparently nobody went back there, or nobody was walking back there. So there was like no way that a light could have been on, but it was doing it. So that was pretty exciting.
Right. Angel, I muted him.
I was so glad that I watched the show after, so that I didn't have any preconceived expectations, and it just made the show that much better.
I haven't seen it. I've got to watch it.
Yeah.
Show. I've never seen that show.
Yeah,
Well,
it was really good.
It's Portals to Hell, and it has
Yeah.
Jack Osborne. I can't remember the girl's name.
Season 3,
And-
episode 4.
And that episode, Bill and I were sitting in the living room watching it, and that is why I booked the theater. Because, and here's the thing, it's not that easy to book the theater. I gave you guys the link. I had to track it down because it says on there, call the theater to book your session. And then when you call the theater, they're like, no, we don't do that. You have to find the company. So I had to search out the company, and so I did that. And if he had time, he was going to pop on here tonight to chat with us. But I'm sure he's probably busy as well, because they have tours almost every night. So, but I have to say, I agree with Isis. It was interesting because he gave us information, but he gave us kind of limited information. Did you guys find that as it went on?
Very vague.
Right.
Very
vague. The floral scent, because he didn't mention to us in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I was smelling those roses hot and heavy. I think somebody else was too at certain points. And
I
then
think Heather was.
that was one. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was one of the things they pointed out on the show was the floral scent. And I was like, oh yes. It's just amazing to have that validation.
Got the dinner table ready. Erin, you can play whatever videos you want to play as long as they're like, you know.
Well, they're only the ones
PG
that
rated.
from your page. The only ones that I'm doing is from your page.
Yeah, that's fine.
You want to show? Do you want to show us all, like, give it Sam some grief as far as being our crystal dealer?
That's up to you guys if you want to. I mean, it's totally up to PC. Yeah, PC. Ellie's like, make sure it's PC. Okay, make sure.
Yes,
PC.
it's well. These are only the ones that you posted up on My Mystical Life.
Gotcha.
Do you guys want me to play that one for everybody?
How long is it though? Because it's pretty long.
Yeah, that's pretty long.
It's pretty long.
Oh, okay. That's 6 minutes and
Yeah,
27.
I don't have that kind of attention span.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Now, unless you only plan on showing a clip of it.
Yeah, because once the thing starts, you know, like I start going, you ever guys look at the computer and the thing starts spinning? I'm like, screw this. I'm going to go do something else. I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for your computer issues today.
Should I play the table one?
Play whatever you want to play, man. Just make sure they're not like, 20 minutes long. Dude, who on here in the comments has not
got to give us
Aaron
the story
play?
about the table.
Oh yeah. Isis.
Say it again. I must have missed the question.
What'd you say, Isis?
I said
Isis, 'cause I thought she was in the middle of the story about the table.
yeah, we got to talk about the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about the table?
What not about the table, you know? What not?
Yeah, what not about the table? So
Oh jeez.
the table was cool, and I can't be any more excited than I am about how the table went. It was slow going the first 2 nights, and I think those really need to have the energy built up into them. And Ellie says, Laura, I realized you were here. And Isis, you are glowing.
Thank you.
Jill says, it's fine. I'm stuffing my face on video. It's all good. But so the table is once it's crammed with some energy, with some high vibrating positive energy, man, I cannot tell you how excited I was to see that thing turn.
Oh yeah.
It was so. Does anybody want to talk about their experience? This is not a chat about the table. If you want to talk about your experience on the table, that's great, wonderful, please do, because I'll talk about it all evening. But it was interesting because I went back and watched the video of everybody's reaction, because I have to tell you that in the moment you kind of get lost in everything that's going on. And when you go back and watch, I'm like, I don't even remember asking these questions. And to have the answers come across was really cool. But everybody's reaction to the feeling under the table, as well as, the vibration of it and the shifting of it before it actually tipped, it was so cool to watch.
I think it was almost like a slow build to it, because I remember the first day there, like you said, there wasn't a lot of activity with it, but it did like kind of move a little bit. The second day, like you can feel like there was vibration underneath the table, like it was trying to lift, but couldn't quite get up off the floor. But like the energy that came through in the last day, being so strong and was responsive, like intelligently responding to questions. Right. And then like I was there sitting next to Aaron when it completely tilted. There's like no way that we could have done that. It just literally just lifted up on its own. It was fascinating. It was fascinating.
Yeah, the first 2 days, it was we were all discussing about it, that we feel that it was very confusing energy, or not, the energy wasn't like it was very confusing to the to the spirits that we were trying to to the energy that we were trying to come in bring in. And even when we showed them, I don't think they really understood. And then the other thing was that, we were not as conjoined, together as far as, the questions, and everything. And I think that really confused them more. So the first 2 days, it would slightly turn, it would slightly move. And like Isa said, it felt like, like the table wanted to tip, but, it just, it just wasn't happening those 2 nights.
Right. I think that third night it was one question at a time, and I noticed on the third night we kept going back and going, okay, wait, that's 2 questions. We have to just do one. We have to just do one, and they have to be very concise questions. They can't be a broad spectrum. And the added feature of the needle turning, by the way, is now a permanent feature.
That's right, because the needle wasn't meant to turn.
There you
But the
go.
first couple of nights, it's like instead of turning the table, they were turning the needle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the 2
meant
videos.
to turn all along.
Who is that?
Who's talking?
They sound.
Angela?
Oh, Angela. Where's Angela? Is that Angela?
Rose.
Just my bottom.
Oh, I see her thingy.
Just saying that maybe the needle was meant to turn all along. You just didn't know it yet.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's it. So I have to I'm gonna go over this because I know Aaron says he wants to show the video, but I want to say this. I was sitting watching the video with Bill, what is it, last night or the night before, whatever. And Angela was sitting next to Isis, and she was watching those table legs like a hawk, man. She was just like, and we're like, you want to switch out? And she's like, I'm staying right here. She was watching the table legs like a hawk, waiting for him to lift up. Yeah. But I have to say, you guys, Angela, I think had the clearest idea of what I was trying to get the table to do, because she was on the cruise, the same cruise we were on, running around chasing the table around the room, and Dr. Gates's table on the cruise. So I just felt like she had the strongest idea of what I was trying to get it. Idea.
Well, see, it's your own table, though. It's not meant to do what somebody else's does. It's like your own.
Yeah. And I think, I you know what? I like this spelling out rather than having to guess stuff. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it that's watching this, I mean, just stick with it for a few minutes because you'll be blown away. We are not touching the table. If we're touching it, it's barely. And I'm blown away by it because I've never done anything. I mean, when I was a kid messing around with a Ouija board or something, and this is not that at all. But it was the energy combined. And Aaron, I think you had a good point. We weren't cohesive in our own energy, maybe. It was a learning curve it was kind of beautiful, actually. Because it was the spirits and us, like, I don't know. It was like getting to know each other, and then we combined and figured it out together. Right. It was the coolest thing.
Yeah, it was.
On a lot of different dimensions,
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very cool.
Are you ready for me to share, to do that?
Go ahead. Go.
All right.
Take it away.
Sure to sound. All right.
You're good.
Yeah. I'm not touching this computer for nothing.
You missed it. No, you missed it. Jokes. It tipped over almost on its side. It's gonna go all the way.
Oh, this is
tipping?
No.
But
it's just blocking the camera.
Don't like jokes. Thank you, Tori.
We've already established her name is Tori.
Did they? You missed it. No, you missed
it.
Jokes.
That was the first one.
Over almost on its side. It's gonna go all the way. Is the table tipping?
No, but it's
She
just.
don't like jokes.
Thank you,
jokes.
Tori.
That's right.
Did you have blue eyes, Tori?
It still remembered how to do it.
It's tipping.
Oh, there's a lag. Sorry, guys, I got loud.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Tori.
so much. I think my favorite part is where she's holding it and then decides to answer our questions by turning the table while she's tilting it.
Yeah, pretty fancy. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Aaron. Okay, now I've got to figure out. Oh, there it goes.
You got the
Sorry.
infinity window there.
Look, my brain's starting to hurt.
Whoa. Sorry about that.
Talk about dimension.
So I do have to say, Meredith says arms and hands radiant heat up. It was so cool. Where are you, Meredith? Are you on here?
She's at a game.
She said she's eating.
Oh,
she's at a baseball game.
Autumn, that is the Divine Light Oracle board. It is the board that I'm making. That's the tool I've been talking about that we just kind of really unveiled at Savannah. And yeah, that's something I'm going to be working on. And it's what's so funny, you guys, is I come home and I'm like, I'm so excited to do this now. I've got everything worked out and hammered out, and now I have no ideas for artwork on them.
We can help with ideas.
You know, so I'll throw that at you guys after a while. Diana, we're bummed you weren't there too, man. So when we did the Savannah Theater, so let's talk about the theater. First of all, let's talk about the amazing food. Was Natasha leaving? Yeah. No?
Yeah.
Waving at, okay, I'm just waving.
And Natasha says, "Hey guys, my youngest
I have
is
to go
coming
pick up
out."
Oh, gotcha. Oh,
They're coming out right now.
it was awesome.
But thank you guys for having me.
Good
Enjoy the rest
seeing
of
Bye,
your
you.
day.
Natasha.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So the food in Savannah is amazing. Where's Nancy?
I was just gonna message her. I don't know.
I had talked to Nancy. She's just going to be in the audience.
Oh, okay,
today.
okay. Where she was. So the food is always amazing. Everything about Savannah is really cool. I have to tell you that last breakfast was my favorite with that. I don't know. It got me, you guys. I don't usually have syrup on my anything. It was a syrup.
It's like a buffalo maple syrup, I think.
Still talking about the syrup.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was so good. But anyways, but the Savannah Theater, now I did talk to Michael and I showed him, and that's why I really hustled to get my copyright done, because I was sharing pictures out of what we were doing. And he did invite us to bring the board to the theater. So next year, I think that would be like on the stage, set up, have fun, kind of. But so personal experiences in the theater. I have to say, I think everybody did something different in every room. And every time a group of people went to the next room, they had a totally different experience than the group before, which is fantastic. But we're going to throw this out there. Oh, is there Nancy here? Oh, I don't see her. Okay. I'm going to throw this out there that he said, and everybody was there, they had more evidence in that one night that our group was there than they've ever gotten before at one night, right? And one
Yep. We're still
Kinda not
waiting for him to
surprising.
post the door opening on
The
its
door,
own.
yeah.
And we're still waiting for him to post that video.
So
I have to say, Tom was so diligent. I have to just bring that up. It was amazing. I was sitting
Yeah.
here and he's over
stared at
there
that
and he's
door.
just like, honed in on that. And I knew it was happening, but he didn't take his eyes off that. It was amazing. It was crazy. That was crazy, which makes me think of Angela. I don't know if you want to talk about that. Yes.
Let's let Angela talk about her experience.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
That was
Well, I'll have to say that was the most crazy experience I've ever had to begin with. Because the camera just started going off. I thought they were all going to kill me at first because the flash went off in that dark room. They go, "What are you doing?"
Well,
I said, "Didn't touch."
To anybody that doesn't know, if you don't mind, Angela, you were in my group, and I'm sitting here, and we're doing stuff's happening, and you have your camera around your neck, and you're sitting over here, and you keep turning around. I think that's when you felt something behind you. You didn't know quite. You were just like, "There's something here." And we were all talking, listen to the spirit box. All of a sudden, your flash goes off.
Something cold and in the door.
It was
flash
right
goes
as
off.
we when we mentioned about the guy who hung himself. It was right as we mentioned that is when all of a sudden the camera just
Right.
started
I got chills
going
again.
off on its own.
But I was mad at Angela, kind of not mad, annoyed. I was like, "What the hell? Why are you doing this?" Everyone was like, "Stop."
Yeah. And
Turn the flash on.
A flash picture out of nowhere. And you're like, crazy.
What are they doing?
Lag.
Yes. The main, it took 5 pictures my lens on. And
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, our bandwidth is real bad.
On. It won't do it. But it was so. I will tell you, I took the camera out last night. Kentwood Restaurant. It's in Little. It's haunted, and I did. I even took the lens off, made sure it was on. It didn't do anything. So I think it just happened to be a perfect trigger. So we'll see. I'm going to keep trying it. I'm going to take it to any hunt I do from here on out and to see. But yeah, it was freaky. It was very freaky to have the camera just. So.
Yeah, because we want to debunk, right? Well, we want to be the ones to debunk stuff. So
Absolutely. And it started to respond to us. That's what the crazy and beyond crazy was like. Remember how it started to respond?
Yeah, it was
would
using
flash,
the
it would take a
camera
picture.
to answer our questions.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was super exciting.
Yeah.
And it took a group picture of us.
Yes.
Yes, it
I
did.
asked him to take a group picture of us.
Some beautiful.
But any of the
I have
pictures
that
that came
video.
out. What is happening to the screen?
Hold on, I touched a button.
Stop touching buttons, Lisa.
Hold on.
The spirit's
feel
name was
voicey.
Bert, and we figured out that he was a photographer in life.
Oh,
and
nice.
Can you guys see that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there it is. There's the money shot.
Right?
Oh, and her face is so classic.
I love it.
This picture was like, okay.
Not doing it.
Are you under arrest?
Yeah, she's like, "Am I under arrest? I'm good.
Yeah.
I didn't do it." But the spirit's name that kept messing with Angela's camera, his name was Bert, and he was a photographer in life, and he answered yes to taking photographs of animals and dead women, which was a little weird. I still think that's weird on his part, but he answered yes by taking pictures, and if it was a no answer, he would say no through the voice box.
And with that symbol crash too.
Yeah, and the symbol crash. But that could have been Steve, because Steve was the one that they said hung himself.
Yeah.
I felt Steve in that first, because we were in the first room back over there. It's the behind the stage where the ropes and everything were. And I found it interesting. He didn't give us information. I think he withheld a lot of information because he was waiting to see who we were, And I really believe that they were absolutely 100% blown away, because you put that many psychic mediums into a room or a building, and all of a sudden, all this information comes, and we're sitting in that room, and I was like, I get this ST. I thought it was a Stefan or something like that. And he goes, well, there was a Steven. I said, okay, well, all right, I'm going to go with that. I'll roll down that road. And then I kept feeling like this. I kept feeling like my throat was like this. And I'm like, did he get hung? He's like, hey, it's suicide in here. I'm like, oh. And then the box started rolling around with him, you know, making noises. And we heard what sounded like a full-size harp come across. It was so cool. So
Wow.
cool.
And
Yeah.
in that same
I think
room,
our group
when
was
I was
the last one in that room.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, and Lisa, remember the money in the shoe for his mother? The money in his shoe for his mother from Stephen. When we were sitting there, you kept saying there's something in his shoe, paper or something, and we figured out it was money for his mother.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And there was a lot going on.
Yeah. I haven't gone through any of the recordings yet. Who's gone through all the evidence yet? Anybody? Yeah,
I have.
Went
We
through
got
all of it.
we got like one EVP, I think, and that was when our group went into the mirror room, and it was as we were first entering in, there was like an EVP where someone just goes, hey, and then like a few seconds later they go, thanks. You know.
I have a real good one. When I walked in, I was trying to get Ben to respond, and I walked into that stairwell up in the balcony, and I was like, Ben, are you here? And then I was like, hello. And then a man goes, hi. And I went, hey.
that was Benjamin, right?
I guess.
No, that
this
was
was a
Big
man.
Ben.
You mean the older Ben?
Oh, Big Ben.
The older Ben.
Yeah.
I
Gotcha.
guess. And then
Benjamin's the kid,
at
right?
that point,
yes.
And at that point, I got a lot of recording of violin sounds. You could hear a violin. And I said, I think the violin is warming up. And then he goes, yeah. And then a little later, he said he was really tired. He goes, I'm tired. And then he said, I'm lost. And then I don't know what happened, but something made us laugh. And then he yelled at us. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry. But that was a real good recording I got to just break it down to narrow it down so I can share it. And then I also posted.
You can hear the
Go ahead.
I'm lost on it, Donna. Because
you
posted
were
it.
the-
You can definitely hear the I'm lost.
So it was you with me, right? Or I can't
No.
remember who had the voice recorder, but they heard it through the earphones. But I heard it like just sitting there, plain as day.
Reed says she has something recorded personally. I'm not quite sure because I'm lost in comments. Vicky McHale says I would have peed and run away, or peed while running away to save time.
No.
Lisa Phillips
It wasn't
wants to know,
like that though. It was peaceful. It was calm.
Yeah,
it wasn't
Just
scary.
like sitting on the stage. I posted the video in our chat of the group picture when we asked him to do the group pictures. When I got that, I was standing right beside her, and I got her when I didn't get the group, but I got the camera when it just started going off, and they had already turned the lights on, started packing up, and he was still going crazy talking to us. That was pretty amazing.
They had told us that Big Ben does not give them any information, but Isis, when we were in the stairwell, Isis is like, I want to take a drink out of a flask. So we kept asking Big Ben like different drinks, and then when we went up into the production room, he went rum.
That's right. Yeah.
He was very adamant
heard
that
it.
he was a rum drinker. And I'm like, okay, I like rum too. Cool. But
Meredith says, she also caught Stephen and that crash. It was a crash, almost a pounding on a piano we heard as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Isis, when you go back and listen to the one when we went into the mirror room, can you check and see if that was said when Tom walked in? Because remember, Bill kept asking single. And I was doing all the talking, and I tried pimping out Laura. Sorry, Laura, I love you. And they didn't tell us that Bill was gay in real life when he was alive. And Tom was our only male in the room with us.
Yeah. And I don't know at what point Tom walked in. I know that Tom walked in after I did. Yeah. But it was very odd because the voice was like more like a whisper, and it was different from everybody else's voice. But I just know it was after I think it was after our guide had said that she was going to go and get chairs. And then I just heard this whisper going, thanks.
because our guide took a picture and she thought it was Angela, but it wasn't Angela in the picture. It was Tom with an orb going all across his face and then a dark shadow behind Tom.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that picture wasn't of Don or of Angela. That was of Tom, because you can see Tom's hat in the picture.
Yeah.
Did that take place in the mirror room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mirror room.
so when we were in the mirror room, they were active and making noise and talking until our guy walked out, my future son-in-law. Can't remember his name. Anyway.
Mike.
There you go, Mike. Yeah, so when he walked out, they got real quiet. And we're like, okay, well, maybe he's comfortable. And when he came back in, he had a photograph of an orb going between the mirrors right over the top of our heads.
Wow.
That they took from the other room, because Lisa and I were kind of sitting next to each other, and I kept having to stand up. I'm like, somebody's behind me, somebody's behind me. And then when they came in, they said there was an orb, and they showed us the picture of it. But when he came back in the room, they got more active. It was like they were comfortable with him because they knew who he was.
It was funny because he had said early when we first got in there, he had made the statement that they seem to be more active when I leave the room, which was so funny that he said that. And it turned out to be the exact opposite, that it would go off like, come back, like, come back. And then that also happened in that room is when we started to talk about how annoying that noisemaker was. And we're like, oh, I can't think with this noisemaker going on. And then it shut off.
It just shut off. Because we were like, oh gosh, can't stand that thing. Wish it would be quiet, you know. And then it went.
They were like,
boom.
okay.
We were like, oh shit, we broke it. But yeah, that was really cool. Ooh,
I know it really tripped our guide out quite a bit. She was really freaked out.
She was.
Yeah, and she said, I'm only 19. And I'm like, hey, honey. I said, what are you talking about? She was talking, remember she was talking to Bill, like he was her friend. Remember that? She said he didn't like me.
Yeah.
No, he calls her names.
He calls her
was
very
really cute.
nasty names. And he actually told her to shut up when she started talking.
Yeah. Or called her a whore.
Watch
and
language.
all kinds of weird bad names.
Well, Heather and I were in the
Bad
stairway.
names. Called
Remember
her
that,
bad
Heather?
names.
Oh,
Sorry. Like we know
yes.
what called her.
When we were in the stairs
Or was trying to talk.
I know.
by the stage, Heather and I decided to go down, all the way down. And I was like halfway up. And then our guide, I can't think of her name. She was awesome though. She was sitting down and I took a photo and I do have an orb around her head. Like it's really cool. I sent it to her, but she said, I've never felt like this. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable.
The concrete was hot.
And we could
Concrete
feel the
doesn't
wall
hold
was
heat
hot.
like that.
So weird.
It was hot.
happened
Concrete's usually cooler than the room,
in that
and
way.
it was hot.
Yeah, there was often times when we were sitting on the stage that you felt like your back was on fire.
Right.
Like that's how I felt. I felt like my back was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I remember you saying that, Isis, because I think you were by me or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I was
I felt
sitting
that
next
too.
to you, and I think I was also sitting next to the guide as well.
And there's
Because our
there were
group
so many
was-
fires, and there's not. I guess it's not odd that we would feel those strange temperature variants. You know.
Because I was with Aaron and we were behind the stage when the whole camera thing started, and we kind of like left our spirit. We were like, stay here, we'll be right back.
We never came back.
We never went back.
And what's really trippy, guys, is like before we went to the theater, we were, working on with the board. And so like the first day, like, Laura and I picked up on that woman and I was thinking of the name Betty. The next day, Sam came up with the name Elizabeth, but it was also during those days where we felt like our right side was on fire. And so I thought it was really interesting that we go to the theater and
learn about Betty Rose.
Yeah. Also known as Elizabeth.
Wow, I didn't even
Same thing with
that
with
together.
what Rachel experienced. Sorry, when she had brought up that story about the nuns and the orphans or that school or whatever, she had that story about tripping and she heard a voice, watch your step. And then he brought up the nuns coming from that school later on that day. That was also kind of a coincidence.
And that's definitely, it was super interesting just to see all the correlations of how our days kind of led up to that. It was almost like they knew we were coming, we're getting ready, because we were all talking about it and hyped up about it. So I thought that was pretty.
I mean, how many times are we going to do, I don't know about you all, but I'm going to do a reading or, do readings. Stuff happens to me before then. So that, I guess that makes sense. Like things will happen. And then, and when I'm doing the reading, I'll be like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So now I pay attention to things before I do readings, because then I know it has something to do with it, like the smell of a perfume or a penny on the floor or whatever. That's really interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I'm reading on the side. I just think that the whole weekend was a whole lot of fun. And I have to say, I enjoyed the fact that Sam and I weren't even there yet, and people were getting there early, and everybody found everybody, and they were all, going to dinner together or just sitting and chatting together. It was so cool to see everybody coming together, and we weren't all even there yet. It was just so cool. It was, I know there were a lot of people that wanted to come this year and they couldn't make it, and COVID's been a bitch, hasn't it? And so we have so much going on across the country. I know that this was the only thing that we're able to do this year for us on this side. And next year we'll make sure we plan it, but we're going to plan it a little bit differently. We're going to have a whole area. So we're going to
like the idea you were talking about, and next year that hotel is going to be trashed.
Oh yeah.
So,
no, we don't want to stay there again. Only because
I got my bill and I had a coronary.
I know. Oh,
Right?
I knew how much it was going to be. It just hurt my feelings.
Like, okay, this is what I booked and this is what I thought it was, but mother of God.
Yeah.
I know.
But we like the courtyard, and that's why Sam and I decided that,
absolutely,
that we would have the courtyard. Everybody could congregate there. But next year and any future retreats that we do, we're going to rent a whole Airbnb. And matter of fact,
that's an amazing idea.
Yeah, we found one on Tybee Island that holds 23 people.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Like Cassie and I talked about it driving home. We had plenty of time, and we did go to Tybee Island and Tybee Beach, and we had lunch before we left. But like she said, we wouldn't have changed anything because staying there was part of the experience.
Right.
There was a lot of, it was just part of the whole thing. I mean, would we have gotten a ship captain showing up at the table if we weren't there? Different things. So I think it was important. It was a great experience, but I do love the Airbnb idea.
Yeah. I Sam and I've talked about it. We won't be able to plan anything for, until we know whatever.
Even if it's just a big house or like 2 or 3 medium-sized houses, like in close proximity, whatever makes most sense. But I think that would be fun.
I'm in for sure. I'm in.
Oh, I'm definitely there.
There's a point.
It was right down the road.
There's a point in the video, and I'm sorry, I did not edit as Erin put out there. I didn't edit the first part of the video. I just kind of chunked it up onto YouTube. I'll have to go look and see what I've done. But I actually remember something in there that I wanted to edit out, and I can't remember what it is. But anyways, I think it's something Sam said. Anyhow, but there's this moment in the video where Heather is sitting there, and she has her hands on the table, right? And her fingers keep dancing on the table, like she's tapping on the table a little bit. And it was so funny because I said something to her, and it wasn't even about that. She's like, I can't believe it's moving, and I want to keep my fingers on it.
And my butt tingles.
My butt tingles. And I'm like, your butt tingles.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I don't want to move.
So but her reaction was truly very cool, because I think at first she looked shaken.
I'm a skeptic. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to find a way that somebody was manipulating things. I didn't want to think that because I love y'all so much. but that's who I am.
Yeah.
And there is no way that I could debunk it. I tried. I've watched the videos. I was there. I took my hands off the table.
Yeah.
And I was at the side of the table that if I was holding that table up, it would have fell. You know, so I took my hands off and it was still there. And I'm like, okay, I believe.
So I would look at Juanita out of the corner of my eye and I would just see her going up and down, like looking at everything.
You should have heard my daughter's comments on the way home. She's like, you know, because she knows I do all this and then I'm part of this and she knows what's going on. But she's like, I kept trying to find out how this wasn't real, Mom, but what the fuck?
I know. It is like the most legit way to take somebody that's on the fence and have them go, holy, and just try to work their brain through it.
It was funny because I never knew she told me after we left the theater that she was terrified to go to the theater. I said, why didn't you tell me? She says, well, I was really happy when Lisa was with us.
Bad. That was so bad because here I am with Shannon, right? You guys heard her speech the first night, right? So that transitions into everything. It transitions into everything. It's not, this is my best friend. You cannot touch her, have her, nothing like that. It is, I expect her to be with me on that investigation. Because this is not Shannon's world. Shannon will ride any train that I want to drive, but this is not her thing, right? She was probably supremely freaked out about the table, and but she handled it so well. So when the guy's like, Lisa, break these groups down into groups of 6 each, and so hey, because Angel, just because he's got comments. So when he said break them down into 6, well, one guy had already claimed a group of 6 people and she was in it, and she come looking at me and she's like, I'm like, I'm so sorry, man.
You did that to me too.
In our group, Erin? She was with us, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And it never occurred to me, how'd she do?
She was fine.
Good.
Okay.
She's been on investigations with me before, but that's a big one. That's a big one, right?
I have something else to bring up, and I want to pass the torch to Angel on this. The best prank ever. Angel had came up with the best prank ever. So I'd like to pass the torch to Angel and have her talk to us about the prank and the setup and the execution.
Okay, thank you, Erin. You're gonna get me in trouble with my sister. Okay. As Lisa stated, everybody, some people were showing up a little bit early, and we were down at the pool, and some of the ladies asked me, well, Lisa's not here.
This is messed up.
What's some embarrassing things about Lisa?
This is messed up.
Like, seriously. No, it was great. It was all in good fun. Like, what could we get Lisa
literally
with?
This is the look that I had.
She couldn't think of anything.
Everything that I could think of embarrassing was our brother Billy. Our brother Billy. Nothing on Lisa. So I made the comment, my sister is pretty much positively perfect in every way. Like Mary freaking Poppins.
Yeah, that was funny.
The next day we
went on the tour.
We went and bought umbrellas. And my partner in crime, Miss Rachel, was right across from Lisa and Sam's room. So Rachel got the umbrellas, and as we're going out to eat places, I am also collecting sugar packets and a plastic spoon. So Rachel's coming up with all these cute little Mary Poppins phrases and leaving an umbrella, and Lisa's flipping out going, where are these? Are you guys getting umbrellas?
I know. I was like, are you guys getting umbrellas? What a nice hotel. They keep giving us umbrellas.
And we're all like, no, we're not getting umbrellas. And you know how hard it was for me to keep a straight face with my sister. like this woman grew up with me. She could tell when I'm lying. And I'm just like, yep.
I was
trying very hard not to be around her asking questions. Really tried hard.
I thought it was really funny how like there were pictures being posted in the group of members holding an umbrella, and Lisa's like, do you need an umbrella? And I think Angel, I think it was Rachel. Angel looks to Rachel and is like, you posted the picture, and Lisa still didn't get it. She still didn't get it.
Lisa was clueless.
It's hot. She needed it.
It's hot. We needed to block the sun. You know, just we're allergic to the sun in Savannah. Just we're good.
Just like Mary Poppins.
I assume. Okay, so in my defense,
you have a defense.
In my defense, when I am Holly Raven Moon, when I'm in work mode, I am hyper focused. Okay. I try to be very hyper focused, at least. I was in work mode the whole weekend. You know, I'm like, okay, this has got to happen over here. This has got to happen.
Like Julianne had to leave.
You know, and so I was barely looking at Facebook. I was barely looking at pictures. The only thing I would look at was the chat to see where everybody was, where I needed to be, what I was doing. And it's honestly nothing. Right over my head. Right over my head. Up, all the way down to the sugar, the teaspoon, the umbrella, the notes. And here's me. They're even handwriting these notes. My name is on. That's why we're paying so much goddamn money for this hotel, man. This is a cool hotel, right?
And the funny thing is that you grabbed the umbrella but never grabbed. So I walked by your room, the umbrella's gone, but the sugar packets are still there, and I'm sending messages to Angel like, what the heck, you know? She did. And Angel's in the room directly above me. She's like, did you put that out there? Send me a picture. I want to see a picture. So I'm sneaking down the hallway in my nightshirt, and I can hear you and Sam coming down the hallway, and I'm trying to run back into my room.
Oh God,
great.
Oh, could you imagine
for next year though?
Do you know what we could imagine what we could do to them in a B&B? Because
right.
You know, Lisa,
I
with
call
all of
shaving
this
cream on the face. That's what I call.
Who's bringing slime? Green
Bowls
slime
of
like
hot water?
Slimer.
No.
you have to think of this though, Lisa. I mean, literally, we were joking around. We were talking about different childhoods and stuff, and they're like, "Well, what did Lisa do as a child?" You know, because everybody, you know. And the beauty of it is that your sister thinks you're so perfectly imperfect. She could not think of anything. She's like, "Really, I really can't." She says, even knowing that Lisa may kill me, I can't think of anything. She was like dead serious. And then it really started to bother her because she couldn't think of anything but stuff your brother did.
Yeah, Vicky McHale says, good thing you didn't remember that she used to be a toy salesperson. I still did that good though too. No,
okay, y'all, seriously, there is, she excelled at even that. And like, she went to, I mean, she's even told this story on her lives that she went, there was an airport incident, and that wasn't really embarrassing. That was a job related incident, you know? Just,
that one was funny though.
I was the one in the
middle. I did not want to go shut that off in that baggage.
Know?
I did not want to go shut that. Just let the battery die. No, ma'am, cannot do that. There's products in that bag. Don't make it.
So why would it be embarrassing?
Just store them in a gun case, Lisa. It deters them all.
What?
Yeah, you're in the airport and there's an X-ray. They're gonna see it all.
Yep.
Well, I was checking those. Yeah, I don't care about that. That was checked baggage. That's why. It was going back. I don't care about that.
Oh. So I just want to put out to everybody on Facebook watching, this is how fun our group is. You see everybody smiling, laughing, having a great time, and enjoying like the company. This is why we invite you to join us.
He's my little salesman.
Join us.
Join us.
But wait, there's more.
Order now, and you could get a free medium-sized paperclip.
But wait, for $19.99 more shipping.
Oh boy, here we go.
Sam will throw in a crystal.
So Lisa,
Yeah,
how
right?
many umbrellas do you have?
4. Then my knowledge.
Well,
Unless
you're
somebody snuck some in something I didn't see.
I think we should like somehow put something out in My Mystical Life and just have people start sending Lisa umbrellas.
It's too nice. It's too nice, right?
Start private messaging everybody. Go send Lisa an umbrella.
Yes, you are close enough that we can have this kind of fun. All the flipping time, girl. Did you guys know Teresa Gibbs is in Bay City? Like
Bay City,
here,
what?
Texas, where I'm at.
Oh,
awesome.
She's been here a couple months. I've been here since January. We haven't met up yet. But we will.
Well, it
But we
sounds
will.
like a nice tea date. Go out for some coffee.
Yeah. And hey, Teresa Gibbs, did you know there's a metaphysical shop here in Bay City? I didn't know. I looked for it. I finally found it today. Yeah, there is. So anyways, we are live. Does anybody else have anything they want to share about what they thought was a spectacular moment of their weekend?
I just liked getting to meet everybody face to face and hugging people and touching people and developing more of a friendship. I mean, this is great. And this is how I got involved with the group. And, so many doors have been open to me, but now I have wonderful friendships and bonds and things that can't be broken.
Right.
Partners in crime.
think, yeah.
Like rain or shine or thunderstorms. It was.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
It was just great just to be together.
We're like a big old partner in crime, and it didn't matter what we were doing, where if we were embarrassing everybody, or if we were having fun, or if we were,
Yeah. And here's and I know that everybody's different, and every group is going to be different, and every online community, every community meets in person is going to be different. But I'm particularly fond of ours because we all have a sense of humor.
I have to say, like last year when we all got together, I got to meet Isis and I got to meet Donna and I got to meet Laura. And, this year we got to meet so many more people.
And Tom got to meet Laura.
Tom's meeting, doing his princess wave behind me to Laura. That's Tom's partner in crime with the wedding crashing.
Well, Tom was there last year.
Yeah, Tom was there last year also. Just getting to meet everybody else. Heather, I love you to death, and I can't wait until you're back in Florida because I really do want to come down to the Keys for a weekend. And Laura said that she'll come too. We just got to plan it.
Well, heck, I'll come. I'm just right down the road.
Look at me.
There you go, Donna.
Lisa's feeling left out.
Angela, you and your camera going off, that was just phenomenal. That was just something I never thought I would ever get to see in my life. And I did, and I'm happy I did.
That's a big piece of
I think it's interesting that she was chosen to do that. I mean, you were chosen, Angela, to do that. I mean, they knew you were cool enough to do that, to handle that.
And handle all of us snapping our heads, looking at her going,
that's not for the faint at heart, Angela.
And I learned a lot from Angela too. I mean, we had some conversations about like her divine rods and all that stuff, and just different avenues of different ways to learn about people, and got to meet my soul sister Heather there, and hug her beautiful face, and and got to see Laura for the first time and hug her beautiful face, and got to be a partner in crime with Miss Angel.
And Isis, I gotta say, just when we were in that mirror room and you picked up that big black dog, Tom and me sort of kind of looked at each other and we kept quiet. And I will say this, Isis picked up not our German Shepherd, our Rottweiler that had just passed away right before we left for Savannah. She had a heart attack on our living room floor. And I asked her, please don't come around for a while, because I was pumping her heart trying to keep her alive. And I couldn't do it. So I asked her not to come around for a while, and Isis picked her up, protecting us.
Yeah, and it was also because I kept feeling like it felt like an animal was brushing up against my leg.
And Greta would do that. Greta would do that. She would go up to everybody and be like, "Are you okay to be around my mommy and daddy?" So, and even Aaron, you disappeared on me, but I know you're listening somewhere. Aaron, it was such a joy to meet you.
He's rushing back there. I can hear him running down the
He's
hall.
coming. He's
I'll
coming.
go back to Aaron. I'll go back to, oh, there he is. Aaron,
I
it
was
was
in the
a
bathroom.
pleasure to get to meet you. And
It
even though
was.
you kept trying to pick on me and you did not succeed, you need to take lessons from Sam.
Oh yeah, Sam's really good.
Sam is
Yeah.
really good at picking on me. He got me a couple times, but I got him with the whole crystal and you are our dealer thing. So, but I gotta say, my favorite part was Tori and that table. He
That's
gave
why-
us so
that's why
much.
the table's going home to Angel.
Yeah, that's probably why the table's coming home with me. I mean, Lisa showed me pictures of the tables before she showed any of you guys, and I just thought she was doing like a painting to do on a wall, like to hang on a wall. I didn't know she was doing the tables. I just thought she was doing like pretty art to hang up, you know?
I have to tell you guys, I surprised myself. I love the dragons. I love the Yin Yang dragons. I surprised the crap out of myself with that painting. I'm just gonna take that one. I will, because I was looking at photos of it and I was like, it just has so much energy in it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it has so much
As
energy.
far as
I would wake up in mornings and my phone, that table picture would be there somehow opened on my phone from when Lisa sent it to me. So it's like I was drawn to that table. And I like the fairy one that she did too, but it's like that dragon one just kept in my head. And I gotta admit, Tori was my favorite part of the, well, it was also mine and Tom's anniversary. I like that part too, but I love you, honey.
I recommend the last unicorn as a theme for your next table design. Julie, I have a hard time calling you Julie because I always see it as J.A. I had that up on my screen last night. I had that up on this. Teresa Gibbs would like to see the table. Did you see any of the videos of the table, Teresa?
I can do that here in a minute. If
Yeah, he can do that in a minute. And I have a fairy table that I'm putting together tomorrow. I have to put that one together.
Oh, that would be awesome.
As far as the table is concerned, I think one of the best things that that we did with the table was when the first two nights, one of the questions that kept coming up was if you could make the pointer go to the J. Where's the J? Where's the J? That was like it was like perfect, because I mean it never moved to the J, but okay.
I love the
sat down
fact
and she
when
was
Sam had to finally
immediately-
tell Lisa to stop yelling at them. You're being aggressive. You were yelling at them when we were at the table. Answer yes or no. Like you can't yell at them. Be aggressive. That was it.
Be aggressive.
I might have been feeling a little bit. You know what? Oh wait, there's Teresa. Oh no, just been working. Okay, very beautiful table. Okay, where was the J? Lisa?
The J was definitely there.
Oh, the J was
It was there.
So there's a story. I don't know the alphabet. I went to a Michigan school and we don't understand the alphabet, obviously. I put the letters on the table. So I had done a layer of resin on the table and then I put the letters down. Now, if I hadn't done that and I put it on wood first, I could have pulled them off. But no. So I put the resin down and I put the letters on and they're vinyl and they stuck. I mean, they stuck. So I put another layer of resin down and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, I'm so pleased with this. I'm so excited. I can't barely stand myself. I'm so excited. I want to share online. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And then I
Malachi's
looked at it
probably
and I'm
gonna go
like,
out too.
there's no J. There's no J. There is seriously no J on the table. There's no J. I melted.
You going out, Malachi?
I freaked out. Yeah, Vicky, that is my creation. That is, she's like, you made those. Yes, that is That is my creation, and I can't find anything like it online.
And you can tell, like, during the time when we were practicing on the table, that it was definitely Lisa's baby.
Oh.
And so, like, the moment that it tipped, like, you can just see the tears of excitement welling up in Lisa's eyes.
Oh,
It was
amazing.
amazing.
It was.
Yeah, so I forgot the J, but what it became was kind of a happy accident, because each table comes with a booklet of how to work the table, because you need to know that this needs to have energy put into it. Right. There's, you're just going to get it to go spin all of a sudden, and it needs that energy put in there. But each table has a name now as well. Because of the J, each table has a name and almost a guardian energy that goes with it, because they're named specifically for the energy that comes across the table as I'm painting or putting it together or whatever. So it is now everyone gets a name because of the missing letter. So it's part of it. It's get a birth certificate.
I love that.
Yeah.
I need one with a big tree on it.
I have the green man in my sights, and I have the tree of life that I'm looking at.
I like the green man. He's cool.
That was a really cool picture of the green man too. I was like, I like that. Protection 101. Yeah, there's a lot of protection that goes into these, and they're all high vibrating. I don't think that you walk up to it and you go, ooh, that's scary.
No, none of us. I mean, we all talked about that, I think, at some point. That the energy that it's you put your good intention in it, and it's just every bit of your good stuff is in there, and that you were guided in this. Don't you feel like that, Lisa?
Oh, absolutely.
Like you had. Well, I just got total chills. Yes, you were guided totally on this. I mean,
it's been about 3 years since I've been thinking about it, but originally I was looking for spinning tables to customize. You can't find spinning tables. That's why I made one. You can't find them, and they're very, very expensive. And I'm going to share. I'll have to find the video of the cruise and the tipping table that moved across the floor 10-15 feet. And that's the one thing this one did not do. And I actually feel like it didn't do it because we were all crowded around it.
We were. And I mean, does it have anything to do with I kept being like, the rug. Remember, I was like, let's go in the bathroom because the floor. I felt like it
made it harder to move.
There's so much traction on that rug.
Yeah.
Cassie made a comment, and that's back to the energy of what you guys were talking about. She was when you guys let her come in and sit at the table, and I'm like, well, go ahead, and she's sitting there and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing, Mom. And I said, it doesn't matter. Just think good, happy thoughts, intentions, follow through. She says, well, I'll mess it up for everybody else. I'm like, no, you won't, because if you have good energy, and then everybody put their hands on everybody else's shoulder, or when things weren't working, and when we all connected, I think there's one picture of where like Heather's touching the back of someone else and somebody else is touching her. And it was just so cool to see that when we all connected and became one, almost like a web, it made the table react even more because there was more energy and more love going into it.
Yeah. That and I, it was just now she's not on the table at this point here, but it was interesting how everybody linked up. It really was. I didn't anticipate that, and I was like, oh, okay, this is really cool. And it did amp up the table quite a bit. It amped up the table a lot. If I can get back to where I was.
So Teresa wanted to see the table. Yes. Should I share and okay?
Hi, Christine Emerson.
Okay, so this is the table tipping.
Did you have blue eyes?
It still remembered how to do it.
It's tipping.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. I got loud. What I want to say about this particular video is I think everybody was trying to figure out the schematics because I told everybody it'll tip, but it needed to be ready to do so. And it is, even I was sitting there and every once in a while I would pick my fingers up off of it because I'm like, okay, you want this to move so badly, Lisa. Are you doing this? Are you? And I would just, my hands would be hovering over top of it and I'd move my hands up and I'm like, okay, it's not me. And I know it's not Heather because Heather kept going like this. She'd pick her hands up, she'd do this again. You know, it was really interesting. It was really interesting, but I like this particular video because you kind of have to chase it. You have to chase it.
And then here's the table turning. What?
It's kind of like you missed it. No, you missed it. Jokes. It tipped over almost on its side. It's gonna go all the way.
Is the table tipping?
No. She don't like jokes. Thank you, Tori.
Aaron asked if the energy at the table liked jokes. He asked if the energy liked jokes, and that's the answer I gave, and it was very quick. It was very quick, but interesting.
And Tori, you know, she is a wonderful spirit, wonderful energy. But, you know, because of her life experience, she did not like male energy. You know, and I had, before those videos were taken, there was a whole long video in which I had asked, you know, is it me? You know, because everybody was saying that the energy changed when I had moved to you know, be on the table. And you know, of course, everybody's like, you know, don't take this personally or anything. And you know, but it wasn't a personal thing. It was just, you know, I wanted to know, you know, if the energy changed because, you know, I came on, and she automatically, yes, you know, it is you.
But the energy changed, but it doesn't mean she wasn't willing to work with anybody.
Right.
So, I mean, and Vicky was it yes or no to jokes? It was, she's not a prankster. She doesn't like jokes very much. So, as he's talking about Tori though, that's her name. That's what I like about the board. She spelled her name very, very clearly. She was very clear on her yeses and nos. And what did she do, everybody, that amazed us more than anything else?
She righted the table.
She like reset it to M&A.
We didn't ask her to.
She was very,
but it was the most
pragmatic
comfortable
about
space
it.
for us to be.
Yeah.
She was very polite.
Yes.
And Aaron, I'll add, the energy was different when Tom was first sitting down at the table before he left the room. Her energy was a little bit hesitant with doing stuff when Tom was on the table, but when Tom left the table, she started doing more a little bit faster. So it wasn't just necessarily, you know, it was just men in general.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was the male energy. It was the male energy. And, you know, and so I specifically asked, you know, about that, and which she, you know, she answered, yes, it's you. But what she was really referring to was the male energy.
Right.
Yeah, she had had a very hard life with males and how she came about being in America, and she was very adamant she did not want to talk about it.
Never came to America. She never
Oh,
came.
she never came to America?
No.
So we were picking her up from Scotland in Savannah?
Yeah.
She came for
relative.
She came for us.
So I'd like to do one thing real quick. One thing. Can everybody give Bill a wave and say hi, Bill?
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill. Hi.
Bill.
Hello.
Bill's watching on YouTube right now.
Hey, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Okay. He's got it out of the television. We figured out how to put a live up on the television. So I was like, oh, this thing's watching.
Nice.
So let's see, Bill, these are all your children from all over the United States, Florida, Oklahoma.
When do these go
Georgia.
for sale? They're up
Georgia.
for sale. The boards are up for sale for anybody that we do have a list of people that are interested. So I kind of have to start at the top of the list, and they'll have a payment plan for people that want the payment plan, whatever. But
How do you get on the list? Because I didn't even know there was a list. Sorry.
You just tell me.
I'm on the list, Lisa, and I want the green guy.
Okay. I'll send you the picture.
We better be on the list too. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah, you're on the list too. But there's going to be where it's custom, there's custom art, just because it's custom to each individual at this point, and I want to make sure that everybody gets exactly what they are looking for out of it. So I want to detail out, and I'm going to forget things, so I'm going to rely on other people's memory. Tori was 34 years old when she passed away. Yes, you're on the list as well. When you start getting personal messages, so Tori was 34 years old when she passed away. She passed away in 1595.
1595.
Yeah.
1595. She was murdered by somebody named.
She spelled the name kind of oddly. Oh, but there was a name called, was it
Ploe?
No.
Oh, yeah. And then she spelled out, we asked what her circumstances or something along those lines were, and she spelled out Ploe.
Which was it was
like plow or something like that.
Oh, then Sam looked up.
It was a name for a night woman, basically.
Prostitution. It was a name for somebody. It's what they said when they were having sex.
Congress.
Yeah, Congress. That's a great way to put it. She had blue eyes, which she was obviously very fond of her blue eyes. That's what the table tip. That was a great word.
When the table tipped, it was, do you have those big, beautiful eyes? The table tipped and the pointer went to yes.
Yeah.
So she tipped the table and made the pointer go to yes. So it was like a definite yes.
And then she turned the table to answer a question while it was still hanging there. So Vicky McHale, I was thinking about an Archangel Michael one as well. I was thinking about that last night. I thought that would be a really great idea. So we'll have to talk about it. What else was there about her? She had a child. She had red hair. She had a child, but she did not want to talk about it. The child.
Not at all.
Not at all. She totally stopped. And you could feel.
Oh, right.
Like this.
Yep.
Now, let me tell you what the most impressive thing about the whole board thing was to me. The way she dropped it. The way she gently put the table back down.
And watched for everybody's feet underneath it.
Yeah.
Just her politeness alone was like phenomenally like impressive.
Yeah.
She was very respectful.
Yes, she was. She had so in addition to, hi, Billy Ann, in addition to her spelling everything out on the board tipping, I really wish it had moved, but skirted across the floor. But I think it had to do with her being very conscious of where we were. And if the board would have slid, we would have scattered like ants. And I think she was aware of that. So, but the feeling that was present on the board wasn't just the board's turning. It was, good night, Ellie. And Ellie says she thinks that there was a Winchester involved in her passing. I don't think so. Winchesters weren't around until she passed away in 1595.
In Scotland, they weren't over in Scotland. They weren't even developed, I don't think, until the
1800s.
Good night, Ellie.
Night, Ellie.
So
she was very adamant about not talking about how she died either.
Yeah, she was very adamant about that. But she was very aware, and her energy was amazing. Her energy was amazing. We also asked her if she would be present on future encounters, for future communication, and she did say yes.
Good. Yay.
We shall see. I'm gonna look into her a little bit more, and see if there's any kind of assistance she may need when it comes to transitioning. I don't think that she's actually stuck, but that's just my opinion. She just doesn't feel like a damsel in distress to me. So
I felt that she was here, to help and guide with the table, especially. And she was such a gentle soul. Like just such a beautiful energy.
Yeah, it really was amazing. It was really amazing. The whole weekend was just off the charts amazing. And I'm looking for the list because I've got to add people to the list. Where's my list? Hang on. I have a list. And I think that that's probably gonna, anybody else have anything they want to share?
Yeah, I do for a second, Lisa.
Absolutely. It's nice. Right? You're not gonna be mean to me.
I know. I know you guys see me on Zooms and you see me, but this was so far out of my element. I don't go anywhere where I don't know people. I don't do group activities. But the energy that everybody who was there passed on to me, I think gave me this huge jump start in my journey, because I got home and things are coming and coming and coming and coming. And I'm just on a total different track than what I was before. And I just have you all to thank for it. I mean, I know I had to do the work, but the energy that y'all passed to me without even knowing it, I brought you all home with me. My husband, he says, he was watching the pictures and he goes, I've never seen you smile like this. He said, in years, I've never seen you so happy. And he goes, I'm going on the next one. He goes, I want some of that.
Wow.
So, and my husband is an introvert. He goes nowhere.
Wow.
And he said, I was a different person when I came home. He said, what did they do with my wife? He goes, not that I don't like it. He goes, but where'd she go? So I just want to thank everybody because it's just was an amazing journey, and it's just opened my mind way more than I ever thought possible.
I have to agree with that, because I think getting together with everybody, we get together like on Zoom like this, but when we're there in person, it's almost like it's rejuvenating to the soul. And so seeing you guys in person, seeing Nancy in person, was just amazing. So it was something that I personally really needed, was just to connect with you guys in person.
Is Nancy on one of the platforms that I can't see?
I think that what happens,
she's just watching.
I think what happens for me anyway, and I really appreciate everything that everybody is sharing. But, for me, this is Heather and I, the first Zoom we got when you paired us all off, and Heather and I got together, we both looked at each other, we're like, we're both new at this. What are we doing?
What the hell?
What are we supposed to do here? Lisa just shoved us in here. You're new, I'm new. But again, being there and being together, everything else shut off. I mean, we still had our outside life, or still had a family. I was still dealing with a few work things, but when we're on these Zooms, we turn it off and I go back to sitting in front of a computer for the next 3 hours trying to catch up, or we're worried about those 3 days were our 3 days. They weren't about anything else going on. It was about making the connection, feeling the love, because, every one of us has love for one another. No matter what, we're in this together and we care. So to me, it was huge. So thank you.
Very big.
It's
for me.
I'm somebody, because I hadn't planned on setting it up, and somebody was like, it's our anniversary of this, right? And I was like, oh, and that just it was. We need to be doing this every year. We need to be getting together. We need to do stuff. We need to gather. We need to, even if it's you guys finding people in your area that are doing very like-minded things, and here's what this does. It teaches you who you want to be around and who you don't want to be around as well. Not everybody believes the way we believe. And I think that makes us such a nice, tightly woven community. Is we laugh, man. We have a good time. The jokes may get weird. The conversation may stray.
My mother
touch
I-
a button somewhere.
My mother is waving.
Yeah. I have a question. Did anybody else notice the 6 other individuals that were locked in the theater with us that night run out the door where we're all still going, oh, there was more, there was this, there was that. They could not get out the door fast enough.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Oh, like wasn't there was like 2 people, right? That was with our
No,
group,
there was
wasn't it?
6 total.
6.
Oh, 4?
Yeah,
I thought there were
what
6.
happened to them? Because I don't even know what happened to them. I didn't see them throughout the whole thing.
Oh,
They turned their equipment in and they took right off out the door. They did not stick
They
around.
didn't stick around.
They ran out that door. They were gone.
Oh, that's terrible.
That was right after it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Briefed
they
them.
separated them. They were in their own group. I don't think they were with any
Right.
of us.
Yeah, they were in their
And-
own group.
Yeah, and we were like taking over the
Because Michael had pre-warning that we were all a bunch of intuitives before we even showed up. Because Tom and me stumbled across their store and they were like, oh, well, you should try one of our investigation nights at the Savannah Theater. And I'm like, you got a group of 20 of us coming Saturday night and we're all intuitives. And he went, oh, what? Huh?
I should have warned him.
This is going to be interesting and fun. I'm like, yeah, you're going to have some interesting stuff.
I'm bummed I wasn't there, but felt represented with the video talking about Uranus.
It was hilarious. 'Cause I'm like, oh, honey, we went to Georgia. Cassie got married. I have a nice, prosperous paranormal business along with a small little homestead.
Yeah.
Like, what's the dowry on this?
I didn't even think about the people that, because they were quiet. Like, I tried talking to them and they just were like, I thought, what the hell are you doing?
They were scared.
Well, here's the thing.
They were frightened.
If you're a muggle, right? And you're walking into this paranormal investigation because it looks like it could be fun, and you go, oh, look, there's 20 psychic mediums. Do you think that there's going to be a lot of activity? And all of a sudden cameras start going off all over the place. We're
Doors
like,
opening on their own.
And we love it. And we're excited and we're not scared and we're not running. We're like, yeah, more. And they're like,
We were
"Oh
on
my
the
God."
stage rooting the spirits.
And we're saying thank you to the spirits.
Yeah, we're not just there for the evidence. We're being polite. We're being polite. Be polite. But I hadn't even thought about that. No, I didn't see him at all after we were done. Huh. I don't know. Fun.
I think they headed for the airport, most likely.
You scared off clients and made an employee quit. Vicky, this probably is not too.
It's very possible.
No, all the investigators were really, I think they were blown away. I think they were really blown away.
Did we really make one of the tour guides quit? Because they sort of kind of posted now.
You know what? If you think about it, we validated a lot for them too. If you think about it.
Yeah,
So that-
because they could never get information out of Big Ben. And like, I think it was Donna that said that they got something out of him. And then our group got that he drank rum. And they can never get him to talk because he always pretends to be Benjamin, the little boy that died.
Well, you know what? Next time, because we're on the fence as to whether we want to go back to Savannah again or we want a different experience next year. But I think the theater itself made us kind of want to go.
Kinda, yeah.
I think if we're staying at a different location, then I wouldn't mind going back to Savannah.
Did the
He's
guys
also
say they
definitely
would help
different
us?
location.
I think we
ahead,
should
guys.
pick somewhere else that would be, pick a different location so other people who are part of the group, it may be easier or more economical for them to come if we try different cities or different areas where it would be, get more people.
More
Mount
closer.
Shasta.
Yeah. We will New Orleans. Yeah, we've talked about New Orleans. We will be finding new locations as we go along, as we grow.
Did you see something, Lisa? I just watched you go.
No, I was thinking for words. As we I know, right? What? No, as we grow, because this year we're all about growth and support and finding the people
We'll
that
see after August. I'll get to start saving up my leave again. So next year I'll get to take more time off.
I'm all about a cruise when those open back up without having vaccines. But
St. Augustine is really awesome here in Florida, Lisa. And they have
Oh,
a jail.
yes.
They have a jail that you can go in and tour in the middle of the night, just like Savannah Theater. But the guy Michael with the Savannah Theater, he said that they're trying to get the brewery down by the waterfront.
Yeah.
Which one is it? The Moon River or the
No.
other one?
The other
There's
one.
another one. There's another one on River Street, and they do some of the cheesy tours in it. But like, if you can get into the nitty gritty of it, I think that would be a really good place.
Needs a cheesy tour. Right?
Donna, I see you in 2 different places.
That's because I couldn't hear on the laptop, so I'm listening on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
I would
And I
love to
discovered
have.
Uber.
Yes,
I had never
Heather was
Ubered
our
before.
Uber queen. Heather was our
I
Uber
discovered
queen.
Uber. It was great.
Yeah, right. Salem, I know we would love to do Salem. If we do Salem, it will be in October, but not at Halloween. And New Orleans, we really are considering New Orleans. It's only 8 or 9 hours away from here, so that's not that bad.
About 7 hours
Shasta.
for me.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Mount Shasta.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do both sides. So
Or even like Denver.
yeah,
New Orleans, I may break down and take a plane.
right. Just take a plane. But all right, guys. I'm gonna call it. Let's call it. And this has been like so fun. You know, for anybody that's watching, we have this group chat that I'm sure everybody is ready to shut off now because the text messages are just going boom, 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 boom. And I think everybody just had so much fun that they just have been.
Oh, I got like what 33 more days to Vardo, Norway.
I
And I get to go with
that's
the,
right.
I totally want to see pictures when you're
Oh,
like, well, I'm sure you're gonna
yeah.
be posting pictures,
I'm
but
gonna drive y'all
gives us-
crazy.
Good, do
I get
it.
to go where the Vardo witch trials were and everything. To see that
Oh,
monument
really?
and that museum.
Oh gosh, yeah, we're all gonna have to have pictures. So absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, everybody. Well, I would like to say thank you.
Before we go,
Good night.
thank you.
Farewell.
Good night, everyone.
No,
Auf Wiedersehen, adios.
what did Mary Poppins sing? What was her
a
song?
spoonful of
Oh,
sugar.
Yeah, but supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Expialidocious.
Renee says, I think Savannah should be an annual My Mystical Life event simply because it was the first. Now there's been 2. It's almost like a tradition. Who doesn't love tradition, right? Right. But
Well,
you know
I
what?
agree.
I honestly think that we're going to
She
see
ain't wrong.
a huge amount of growth this year because honestly, we were looking at several different things within the group, and we were looking for all these different incentives for people and that have been long-term in the group, and it's 75% of the group has been here almost 2 years. That's amazing. Think of the people that are out there still looking for a community, and it just gives you this feeling like, you know what, I think we're ready to grow and we're ready to have more. Yes, Aaron. Aaron. Hi.
Before we go, I just wanted to say that, it was absolutely amazing for me, just, personally to be able to come down and meet everybody that came in, just the connection that we all make here on Zoom, it is a really great connection, but in person, it really strengthened that connection because, it was basically like just a lot of old friends getting together, for like a high school reunion type of thing, where we all knew each other, we all, connected, but just that physicalness of being there and getting to hug each person and getting to, if you're laughing too hard, put your hand on somebody's shoulder to hold you up, those type of things,
we had a blast. It's great to meet in person.
Sharing meals together, just, even the common everyday stuff. Just, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. And we got to get those shirts. Just a bunch of crazy psychics.
I know, just a bunch. We'll poll for what kind of shirts to have for next year, and we'll figure out which ones that we want to have. But yeah,
going to Savannah, go with tank tops, Lisa, because Heather customized hers. It was a bit toasty.
It was toasty. We won't do Savannah again in May. It'll be April.
My only request with shirts is have like a little something on the front, like maybe up here, something on the front, because it's just on the back.
And I was trying to keep it like as affordable as I could. So,
Heather, did you customize our matching shirts? Did you get yours customized yet? Not yet.
Not yet, but I will.
You need to send me a picture of you wearing it, and I'll take a picture, and then we need to like Photoshop us together.
Or
Heather,
you can lead a class where you can teach us how to alter our own shirts.
There you go.
There we go.
That whole idea about the thing one, thing two, we could do psychic 1, psychic 2, like all the way down the line.
Oh yeah.
We have to go somewhere south because I have to be able to wear my hats.
The big floppy hats. The big floppy hats. Yes.
Braids
and my little terrain for umbrellas.
Right, Renee? Right, Renee? She says, who needs to limit these trips to only one per year, maybe quarterly My Mystical Life trips? Lisa's not that rich.
Yeah.
I can see twice a year, maybe.
See,
twice a year.
Here's the thing. When we do,
especially if Savannah's one, because that's right down the road.
Yeah, when we eventually do the Airbnbs, what we'll end up doing is probably throw a
deposit and payments,
and then we'll do it'll be easier.
We could go camping.
We could go camping.
Ooh.
I'm all about camping at Chaco Canyon.
I'm down.
The Anasazi Indian ruins.
I camp every day of my life. No offense, kids, but I camp every day of my life right now. So
you're over it. You're over it.
If there's a Hilton, and
this would be fun.
There.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Donna, I'm with you.
I'm gonna let everybody go. Everybody, you've been wonderful. This has been so much fun, and we will be talking about future trips eventually, and I'm sure that everybody's going to want to join in on it because they've seen how much fun we are, because we are damn fun. Anyhow,
we are fun people.
We are fun people. All right. So everybody, have a great evening. Find light, find love, find joy.
Good to see everybody.
You guys are.
Bye. Love y'all.
All right, guys.
Bye.